Hello everybody and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you the best tips and tricks for MX bikes. Okay, here we are in Winchester on the Ryzen 250 2-stroke. So I'm going to be starting off by showing you guys all the best tips and tricks in MX bikes. So first off, we have the list that you want to learn this game in. So starting off, if you're just now playing this game and it's your first time, you're gonna want to sit down the whole entire time. Don't stand up, that's just gonna mess you up. So sit down the whole entire time, because standing you fall down way easier, as you just seen right there. So sit down and try to stay in between first and second gear, okay? So you're gonna want to choose a pretty good beginner track, just like here in Winchester. This one's a bit more advanced, but it's still a pretty good beginner track. I really recommend that you use Forest Raceway though, because that one's the best track. So now you just want to keep it in second gear and just don't stand up. Even if there's jumps or whoops or anything, don't stand up, because that is just going to ruin your balance. Okay, now coming on corners, I would really start with just using the normal lean, not the left and right lean, you know, just so you get like a bit more used to it, right? Now on these jumps, you can lean back and hit them like that, you know, you can lean back, lean forward, do whatever. But as you just seen there, I couldn't really tilt it forward, and the reasoning for that is just because this game isn't really like most other motocross games where you just use the lean thing to lean back and forward. No, this game you really just have to use the throttle and the brake. So if you hit the throttle, it'll kind of pop the front wheel up, and if you hit the brake, it'll drop the front wheel down. So that is how you pretty much go in air with this game, you know, how you go back and forth in midair. Don't really use the lean. Now the lean can come in handy when you're like going off the face of the jump and stuff, but I don't really like to use the lean in midair that much. So yeah, that was the first couple of tips. Now once you've got that down and you can do like a full lap without crashing while sitting down only and going into like first or second gear, then you're gonna want to learn some more things. So next up, you're gonna just learn to kind of stand up. Now, sit down during the corners, right? And just stand up on the straightaways or anything, okay? So this is really simple. Just sit down whenever there's a corner, stand up everywhere else, right? And I want you to just practice that, okay? Because if you do that all the time, then you'll be standing for the jumps, which means that you won't fall as easily, okay? So that's all you want to do, and just kind of learn to do that. So once you've got that kind of down, you're gonna start shifting into third gear. Now don't go to fourth yet, and especially not into fifth, but just kind of like shift into third gear, right? And you can shift down to second if you want, or even first on the corners, but you know, just kind of practice shifting to third and standing up whenever possible, okay? So once you do a bunch of laps and you kind of get a couple in that you don't crash on, right, and they're pretty flawless laps, that's when you're starting to get pretty good at this game, right? But now we're gonna take it to the next level. So now on the corners, you're gonna want to start to lean with the, well, I have it set to right joystick. I think that's what it normally is, but just use the right and left lean stick while you're normally leaning, okay? And when you do that, I normally just use the left and right lean. I put all the way to the one side, and then the normal lean, I just kind of slightly lean it, right? And the normal lean is how I control how much I lean, okay? But still, make sure to sit down on the corners, stand up everywhere else, and you know, just kind of have fun with it. And this game is very hard, very frustrating, so don't get mad. Just keep on going, you know, you'll make it eventually. So once you do that, you know, and you kind of got that down and you've done a couple laps without crashing doing that, then you're gonna learn some more advanced sit and standing. So instead of sitting just for the corners, you want to sit everywhere except for at the very top of the jump. So if I just show you, I'll come over here and I'm sitting, right? And I go all the way to about right here. And right at that top part, I stand up, and that's basically just gonna preload me pretty far, as you can see. So yeah, you just kind of learn that, you know, and lean back at the bottom of the jump, at the base of the jump, and, you know, kind of hold that lean throughout the whole entire jump. And that is just gonna really get you a lot more air when you need it. And also make sure to lean back when you're hitting those loops, because otherwise you're just gonna crash and it's gonna be really annoying. So now that you've learned that, you can now go into different gears, like 4th gear even, but I'd recommend 3rd gear for most of this track, going around the corners. But you know, you can go into 4th gear, kind of mess around, do different things. So yeah, that's what I recommend doing. But you know, you can do your own way. So yeah, basically once you get that sit and standing done all good, then you're pretty much a pro and you can play this game and just keep on working on it. And those are the pretty big like main things of this game. So yeah, and just make sure to be really smooth with the corners, right? Don't forget to sit down on the corners, right? And just barely hit that leaning, because otherwise you're just gonna go flying, right? So, and just kind of like learn to let off of the gas a bit on the corners, right? Don't pin it through the corners. Otherwise, what's gonna happen is this: you're gonna pin it and you're just gonna fly out and you're gonna skid out to the side, okay? So it's a really bad idea. Try not to do that. But I mean, I still do that sometimes. It's kind of hard to learn, but you know, just try not to, okay? So those are the main tips and tricks for MX bikes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm gonna just ride a couple laps around so you can see what I ride like. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you liked it. And yeah, see you later. Goodbye.